friends, welcome to the first Craftcast of 2022. Yeah, I'm here. I'm back. I am recording this video and it looks like it's gonna rain. So, yay Florida. How did I used to start these things? I feel like it's been so long. Welcome to episode 149 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as the Dear Tani. I am coming to you from my home in Central Florida. Yeah, I think that's everything that I say in the beginning. I probably should have watched a past episode to see what Kalisha used to say when she was doing this regularly, because it's been a minute. It's been November, I think, was the last podcast I did. I did Vlogmas. That's actually one of my bright spots. But I did Vlogmas. And then I burned out from Vlogmas and didn't really record anything for the entire month of January. And so here we are. Fun fact, I have written the show notes for episode 149 at least 3 times. Because I would get into those moods where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to film a podcast. We're going to upload. And I would write the notes, and then I would lose motivation to do anything but sit and scroll Instagram. So yeah. This is really just the re-entry episode. So if it's weird, that's what's going on. Notes. Admin. We've got a couple things going on for the podcast, for live, whatever like that. First, between the last episode and now, I have released quite a few patterns. And they kind of all, except for one, went under the radar. I think I've only had one sale of this particular collection that I'm going to show you. But, it is what it is. I've had some pattern releases. So, the first one that I want to show you is, I think I showed this one on the podcast. Because all 3 of these patterns that I'm about to show you were done in collaboration with Birch Hollow Fibers and Serendipitous Wool. They have a book, what's it called? A yarn journey club. And each one of the clubs has, or each month, they have a book that they dye yarn inspired by. And the club is 2 50-gram skeins of yarn inspired by said book. So I did October, November, and December of their 2020 colorways. And they asked me to design patterns with them. Y'all know me, Ever the Storyteller. I wanted there to be a story behind each design, right? And as it came together, all 3 designs kind of gave me this winter beach vibe. Okay, so first we have October's pattern, and it is the breakwater button cowl. It buttons like this, but I'm not going to do that because it takes a lot to do. It doesn't take a lot to button, I just don't feel like it. So this is how it fits. Boop, like that. You've got your little buttons. And it actually, I played around with it, buttoning it different ways. And there's a couple different ways that it can be buttoned, and I thought it was actually really cute. So this is the breakwater button cowl. It's actually nice and warm. It's not cold for real in these Florida streets, but it does get a little brisk. And so something like this is nice. It's not gonna make me overheat, but it's nice to keep my neck a little bit warm. October. All of these patterns are available on Ravelry and my Etsy shop. So if you're interested, go and grab you one. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you do make any of these patterns, please tag your girl, because there is no joy like coming up with an idea in your head, writing it down the instructions, and then seeing someone else create it, like with their choice of colors and everything like that. It's amazing. So November is this one. This is the Piper Prince beanie. So named because these little, oh, it goes this way. This little stitch pattern with the 3 little feet reminded me of sandpiper footprints that you see at the beach. The little, yeah, they reminded me of sandpiper footprints. So yeah, this one again is very Florida friendly. It's got the lace that'll keep it breezy in the hair. It's actually big enough for me to stick like half of my locks in. I'm kind of toying with the idea of making another one and just making it deeper so that I can fit all of my locks in there. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, the solid bit goes over your ears. It's nice and warm. I love it. I think out of all of the yarns for October, November, and December, the different colorways that I worked with, this right here, this one is my favorite. I think it's called Lupine Forest, I think. And I would love a whole skein of this. And it's more bluish green than it's picking up on camera. I think it's like washing out a bit on the camera. But so that's November. Love it. And then December, I think I'm most excited about this pattern, just like the way that it came together, the way that they look, the construction. I just really enjoyed it. So these are the tide pool mitts. And whenever I write a pattern, I always come up with like a little story, like a little tiny blurb story, right, to go along with each one to kind of set the mood. And the story with this one is about a beachcomber who, you know, is searching for like that one like treasure, you know, as they're searching through, and they find this really smooth stone in a little tide pool, and they slip it. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, like when you're wearing mittens or gloves or whatever, but like if you have like a little, I don't know, like a little tchotchke or something that you want to carry around, and you slip it like in the palm of your glove. I have done that so many times, like as a child, and just the idea of finding that little stone, like I'm thinking of the beachcomber, right? And I'm like, when they see this little stone, and it's just like, that's the thing that I want to collect for today, and they just like slip it in their glove and, you know, go on about their business. Like that is such a, I don't know what the name for that feeling is, but it's kind of like a nostalgic feeling for me or something like that. But I just love it, and I love these mitts, and they're actually worked side to side. So you start with I think I have you start on the back side, so you crochet the back side, and then you attach your second yarn, you crochet the palm side, and then you join them and do your ribbings and stuff like that. But I really like the texture. I had a lot of fun creating with this like really like heavily textured fabric. But there we go. Unfortunately, in Florida, I don't get much opportunity to use these specifically, but please believe, if it does dip down again into like the 50s, and I have to go outside for anything, like if I have to walk the dogs, which I have been trying to do more, I'm gonna be wearing these. I don't care if I look ridiculous with like sandals and fingerless gloves on. It's my life. I do what I want. But anyway, those are the mitts for December. So look at, yeah, it's a little stack. A stack of designs, Quirky Monday designs. Very happy. I am so very proud of myself for this collection, because I learned through creating these that I get like an idea for a design or like a story that I want to tell for the design, and then I find the yarn to match the story. In this case, I had the yarn and had to find the story in the yarn, which was very difficult. This one was the hardest one because I personally wouldn't put these colors together, so it was very difficult for me to find something that allowed them to work together in a way that I felt good about, that I didn't feel like I was making them like compete with each other. So I'm really glad that I was able to, find the stitch pattern and then, have this idea of doing the button cowl. And I think that this stitch really allowed each one to stand by itself, and that's what I like about the way that I created all three of these designs, is that each yarn kind of has its own solo, but they still work together for the final piece. So that is my yarn journey collection. So very excited. This is my first time like designing a collection with like yarn support, or even having dyers reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to do this. So it felt really good to have that support and have that belief, So I'm very proud of these, very happy with them. If you like these designs, go over to my Etsy or Ravelry. They're always linked down below. And I would love to see what, colors you all choose to make your projects. The other pattern is my Just Feel Cozy wrap. Okay, so slight angle change because I wanted to bring the camera in so that my iPad doesn't get rained on. So hopefully it'll be like a regular Florida rain and it'll only rain for like a couple minutes and be done. But yeah, we're gonna keep chatting. So a few years ago I came out with the pattern Just Feel Better, and it was a pattern that I wanted to be able to just crochet and not really think about what I had to do or anything like that. So I made it using the granny stitch, and to give it just a little bit of like, pay a little tiny bit of attention, it's an asymmetrical triangular shawl. So I made a really big one. I love it. It's like a snuggly hug, and a couple years after that I did Just Feel Festive, which is a granny stripe on the bias, like wrap shawl type thing. And that one I wanted to make something to use my advent calendar, and I wanted it to be really simple, easy to follow, like easy to memorize. You don't have to do a whole lot. Then last year, 2021, I released Just Feel Cozy, and I always knew that my Just Feel collection, I wanted it to have 3 items. So when I had been kind of playing around and batting ideas back and forth, trying to figure out what that third piece is, and it was cozy. So, and it has been like really, really well received. I love all the love that pattern is getting. It makes me very happy. But I wanted to show you one of the copies, one of the finished pieces that I made from the cozy pattern. So the first one that I made is the pattern sample, and then I was one of the featured crochet pattern suggestions to use for the Emma's Yarn Small a Day collection. But yeah, they gave me one of the Small a Day kits, and so I made Just Feel Cozy in the Small a Day kit. So I guess this counts as a finished item. Is that the right way? Yeah. So it starts out with these colors, and then get those, get some purple action, some pink action. So it's huge. So I was opening this, you know, day by day throughout Advent, and crocheting each day in as it came. And I got maybe halfway, I got probably to here, so like this far in, and realized I didn't like the order the colors were going in, because some of them were fading really nicely, and then there would be like one that was like, yeah. So like for instance, right here, there was a purple. I don't remember which one of these purples was here, but it was here. And it was very much like jarring for me. So I rearranged. And basically crocheted this thing 1.5 times, which is a lot, but I am very happy that I did it, because now it's a very nice like rainbow gradient that just makes me happy. So Just Feel Cozy is also out. So you've got 4 new patterns from Quirky Monday for your crocheting delights. One of my goals for 2022 is to actually release knitting patterns, because I have designed some knitting patterns. I've just been sitting on them like a mother hen. So yes, I don't even know how long that section was, and we're not even done with admin. See, this is what happens when you don't record for 3 months or however long it was. Okay, patterns released. We have an along coming up. It is the Pisces season make-along. Yay! It starts February 19th and goes through March 20th. If you are a longtime participant, you know that Pisces season is my season. Very excited. But for the Pisces season make-along, you can make any form of making. So any way that you make is good for the make-along. But whatever you do, it has to either be marine themed or Pisces themed. So like water, life themed, or Pisces zodiac themed. The main colors are like greens, blues, mint, you know, colors like that. We like those to be your main colors. Whips are welcome as long as they're less than 50%. Like, use the honor system. I think that is everything. There will be a hashtag. I'll put it on the screen. But this is like the third or fourth year of us doing the Pisces season make-along. And that's really exciting for me, because I love basically from November to March. It's just my favorite time on the podcast, because we have the Mr. Grinch Mal, and you know, I love everything Grinchy, and then it goes basically straight into Pisces season prep, and that makes me very happy. So I kind of probably need to figure out a make along for the rest of the year, because then it'd be quiet until next November. It's not raining anymore. That's just the water falling off the house. I hope nobody was like holding it and had to go to the bathroom, because this would not be a good situation for that situation. but I don't want to go inside because it feels good outside. So I apologize profusely for the water. Okay, so Pisces season. Very excited. Get your creating fingers ready because it's coming soon. So those are the only two announcements that I have. So bright spots. I did mention that I did Vlogmas, and that was a bright spot. I had a really good time filming Vlogmas this year. It started off rocky, but it got itself together. December, like, came out the gate, you know, swinging. And thank the Lord, it settled down. But yes, so the other bright spot that I have is just kind of mind-blowing. It's very mind-blowing, actually. So last Sabbath, Saturday, was the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Out of the Darkness community walk, which one of my friends and I have participated in for the last 3 years. I think this is our 4th time walking. And it's a fundraiser for suicide prevention and awareness, which is a cause close to my heart. And, you know, every year I share on social media that I'm going to do it and, you know, ask for, you know, donations for this fundraiser. And this year, friends, y'all blew it out of the water, okay? So I I set my original goal for $200, and within a couple days of me posting about it, we had already surpassed that $200. So I thought, okay, well, maybe we can do a stretch and do $500. And I'm thinking, like, this is a stretch, right? So I'm like, $500, can we make it? And essentially, friends of Quirky Monday were like, heck yes, we can make it. And we can, like, blow past 500. I checked it today, and we are currently sitting at $885 raised for suicide awareness and prevention. And my brain is just like, $885. That's amazing. Like, that is amazing. It's amazing to me, and I talked about this on Instagram, that what this action says to me is that people care enough to do something tangible for someone else that doesn't give something back immediately, right? Because it's not like, you know, you donate to this and then you get this, you know. I was just blown away and so grateful and so amazed and so happy to be able to have the ability to put something out there and be able to raise this money for this cause. And I just really truly appreciated it. So the walk, like I said, was last Sabbath. My husband actually went with us this year, so that was kind of fun. And the walk is, I think, a little bit over 2.5 miles, I think. And as we were walking, like, me and my friends, since we've done it before, we know kind of what to expect. Since my husband was new, he ain't know. I told him how long it was, at least I think I did. And as we're walking, we got like maybe halfway around, because you walk around this lake. We got like halfway around, and he was like, man, are we almost done? And my friend told him, she says, no, we're like almost halfway. And he goes, oh my gosh. And you just saw like that realization of there's still so much more to walk. But he made it around without falling to pieces. I made it around without my knees completely going into rebellion. It was it was a good time had. Um, this year, I I was definitely struck by the amount of people that were there, and struck in a way like all of these people, like it's good that all of these people are coming together for this cause, but then at the same time understanding that all of these people have been touched by suicide in one way or the other. And it was very conflicting feelings for me, like wanting to be happy that there are people there that are gathered together for this, but then also being incredibly sad that there are that many people there gathered for this. So yeah, if you are so moved, the link to donate is still it's in my down bar, and I think donations are still open until the end of February. So if we could make $1,000, that would be completely amazing. I just, it's, for me personally, it is screaming in the face of that statement that you're alone. And that's one of the things that I feel a lot whenever I'm having my down days, whenever I get into those negative headspaces that are like, we should not be here. Let's get out of here before it goes any deeper. But whenever I have those moments, that one consistent message is you're alone and nobody understands. And seeing the different, donations coming in, each one of those says to me, this person specifically did this because they care. Period. And then I'm able to, take that and like look at sad times, Kalisha, and be like, look, and I really appreciate that. So if you are moved and you would like to donate to the fundraiser for suicide awareness and prevention, there's a link down below. I greatly appreciate it from the top and the bottom of my heart. Thank you. If you have already donated, thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. So now that we are like a million minutes into this podcast and I have not really shown you anything except for patterns that I released, let's get to some finished objects. So I'm finally able to show you guys the wedding ornaments that I made for my friend who got married last October. After their wedding, she had like all of her floral arrangements were real flowers and our bouquets were real flowers. So the other bridesmaids didn't keep their bouquets. So I kept all of them and I dried them, and let me tell you, it took forever. But I dried all of the flowers and then used those plastic ornament like hoops, and I arranged arranged the flowers inside the ornaments with a little bit of the dried foliage, the dried like flower heads. They were really pretty, and I didn't tell her, like I didn't give her any peeks or hints or anything of what it would be. I am so proud of myself for keeping that secret. It was difficult, but I did it. So I'm going to put in some pictures of the ornaments because of course I forgot to take any. But she was able to send me pictures of the ornaments on her Christmas tree, and like, they look so dreamy. I am incredibly proud of them. So here are the finished ornaments for my friend who recently got married. And I love them so much. Keepsake gifts and like gifts like that have special memories or special meaning attached to them are just, that is where my gift giving heart is. Just 100%. Yes. I don't think I had anything else I wanted to say about that. Yeah, no. But she loved them. She said, like, she texted me and was like, oh my gosh, I love them. And I was like, yay. It just feels so good when you make something for someone and they really like it. Like, for real, for real. Handmade gift for the win. Okay. So the next finished object, the sun. See, look at that, look at that. That's the sun. That is the sun. Florida. Told you that rain wasn't gonna last long. Sky's all blue. It's probably still raining over there though. I already showed you guys my Just Feel Cozy wrap. I wrote it on here to put on as one of my finished objects, but clearly I'm gonna use it as a blanket because my legs are a little bit chilled. All right. The next finished object that I have is actually my entry from the Mr. Grinch Mal. I got this green, like forest green, tweedy yarn. I forget what yarn this is, but it's from Michaels. And I got 2 balls of it because I was just enamored with the color. And then I found that it was the correct weight for the Victrina beanie by the Dabbling hook. So I made a Victrina beanie. It does fit. I'll put in a picture. But I made it extra long. I forget how much longer I made the body of this hat, you know, to accommodate for the hair. But because I made it so long, it's very like stiff. I don't know if washing and drying it will help, since this is, you know, mostly acrylic. I think this is like 80% acrylic, 20% wool. But it's so stiff. So what I think I'm gonna do, I don't think I'm gonna try to relax it or like fix the drape of it. I think what I'm gonna do is make a strap and use it as like a little market bag, because this hat is a great size for a tote bag. Now that says something about the size of my head and my hair, that I can make a hat that fits my head and my hair, and it also double as a tote bag. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So there we go. And I think I'm just gonna put like a strap. I might either crochet a strap or go to the thrift store and find a belt and then just like have like a little leather belt strap. We'll see. But that is the Victrina beanie. It was it was a very easy pattern to follow. I do like the hat. I just don't, I won't wear this. It's too thick for Florida, number one. And it is very bulletproof, you know, with the way that, that I made it. But I think what I will do is, I could do like a worsted weight version, and that could be more Florida friendly. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, Victrina beanie. It looked really cute on, like, y'all saw the picture. I'm not gonna wear it, but as a tote bag, it would definitely get a lot more use. My last finished object that I wanted to show you guys are the For Joy and Comfort socks by Tiff Neilan, that I made for my mom. She asked me to knit her this pattern in yellow yarn with orange color work. Here's the picture. She sent me a picture of her wearing them. She was very happy about it. And yeah, so I love making things for my mom because she gets so excited about whatever it is that I have made for her. And she really makes me feel appreciated in my making. So she's basically the only other person that I make things for, just because like, not a special occasion, I made you a pair of socks. She's such a proud mom. But yeah, so those are all of my finished objects. Let's talk about works in progress. So I have a work in progress that I don't have with me. I think I may have shown it during Vlogmas, but I started knitting a pair of Christmas socks using, I want to say it's the candy cane colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. And it's just a vanilla sock. I have one of them done. I'm doing an afterthought heel, so I just have to knit the tube and then put the heel in. And that project is currently at work in my drawer. So that's like my work knitting if ever I have time, which I don't have a lot of time for work knitting whenever I'm in the office, because people always want to be talking to you and stuff. But I have noticed that it's good to have it there for whenever I do get those really high anxiety moments, which does happen a lot more in the office now than it was. But whenever I'm realizing that I'm having a difficult time anxiety wise, I take a break, I get out of the office, I walk around on campus, and I knit. And it does help. So I leave that project at work. My other project that I have is also a vanilla sock. This is, well, here's the finished one. I don't even know how long I have been working on this pair of socks. A long time. But here's the first sock. They're pretty long, but I do like my socks long. And here is the second one. I'm knitting cuff down. Typically, I knit my socks cuff down. So I'm almost to the heel. Yeah, almost to the heel. This is a short row wrap and turn heel. Yes, short row wrap and turn heel. So I'll put that one in and then go ahead and knit onto the bottom. But this has definitely been on the needles for a really, really long time, and I'm trying to carry this around with me wherever I go anywhere. So if ever I'm like stuck in traffic or have to wait somewhere or whatever like that, I always have it with me so I can try to get these done, because it's taking up brain space, and I really don't need extra stuff to be taking up brain space. It is currently living in this bag that I got as de-stash from Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. It's got sheeps on it, and it makes me very happy because I actually don't have many bags with sheep on them. I think I have one other bag with sheepsies, which I should have more, right? Okay, next up is, I have 2 sweaters. Is that all? Yeah, I have 2 sweaters, technically 3 sweaters on the go, but we're not going to talk about that third one because it's in timeout. But my first 2 sweaters, we have this one, and this is the Pebble Tunic by Locatelli, and this is as far as I've gotten. I just finished another ball of yarn last night, so yeah, you can see it like loosey-goosey. I had to do a lot of YouTube tutorialing when making this piece, because as anybody who's familiar with Locatelli knows, she is like the queen of interesting construction methods, and I had to learn the cable cast on, I think it was. Cable cast on or knitted cast on or something like that. Up here, there was like other techniques that I needed to learn to just make just the top, just like right here. Like not even crocheting down or knitting down the thing, just the top bit getting started. And I'm over here having to look up very pink knits tutorials on how to do these things so that I can make this top. And it's coming out really nicely. I really like the yarn. This yarn is Sunseeker. I had like maybe half a ball of this particular colorway left from a project I did a couple years ago. And while I was in the thrift store, I came across what I'm assuming was a shawlette, maybe. It was really small. It was square. I don't know what the person was intending, but I looked at it and I recognized the yarn. I was like, that looks like Sunseeker. So of course I bought it, and then I brought it home, and it was Sunseeker, and it was the exact same colorway as the one that I had. So I ended up with basically 5 full balls of the Sunseeker yarn, which is awesome. It's a mostly cotton yarn, so it's very Florida friendly. I'm excited about this. Yeah, so the only modifications that I'm making to this pattern are it's made with pockets in the front, and I'm leaving those out. I'm not doing pockets. So I'll just have a solid black with glitter tunic. It does have sleeves, so I'll have to go back and do the sleeves, but I really, really like how this is working up. The glitter, I know it's picking up mostly green on the screen, but it's like an iridescent glitter, like an iridescent strand that goes through it. There is so much dog hair on this. It's just offensive. But the color of the iridescence goes between like blue, yellow, green, and orange. So depending on what angle you have it at, you'll see those different colors. And I think it's just picking up the green and yellow on the screen right now. But very happy. I'm excited to be able to wear this to work and be like, I made this. Because, yeah, I've gotten to the point where whenever I wear anything like knitted or crochet or whatever, my coworkers are always like, did you make that? And I'd be like, yeah. Okay, so that is the Pebble Tunic by Joji Locatelli. The next sweater that I have is a raglan sweater that that I am knitting using a pattern that I generated on Bellish. So a few months ago I did a collaboration with Bellish, which was an app that you could create and customize your own sweaters, socks, hats. Well, sweaters being cardigans and pullovers. Cardigans, pullovers, socks, hats. I think that's it. But unfortunately, they went out of business, and they sent out an email like, at the end of January, Bellish will be no more. What can you do about your patterns? You can screenshot them because there's no downloading of the patterns. So basically, I went and screenshotted all of the patterns that I had done, and then I spent hours creating other patterns, like little basic patterns, and screenshotting those. One of the patterns that I made sure to screenshot was the beanie that I did in collaboration with them. So my plan is to kind of retype those instructions and then maybe put it up on my blog, which I'm trying to get back into the blog, or like put it up for free or something like that. So if you want to make a Quirky Monday fam beanie, you can. Y'all will have it. I'll let you know when I have it up. But anyway, I did a basic raglan sweater on the Bellish app, and I am knitting it using this yarn. So this is Karen Crystal Cakes in the Dusk colorway, I think. I saw it in Michael's and I really liked the color. Yes. So this is the yarn that I'm using. I am alternating skeins by using the inside and the outside of the ball. And this is what I have so far. So as you can see up here, I did not alternate skeins, and you can see like how it started striping. But then down here, I started alternating, and it's still striping, but it's not as distinct as this. So, you know, I still have quite a ways to go with the increases. Like I don't think, oh no, I lied. I just finished the increases, so I'm just now split for the body. Yeah, I haven't worked on this in a while. It is a scoop neck. I'm trying to smooth it out so you can see. But yeah, it is a scoop neck, which I think I will like this neckline better than the typical crew necks that I have done in the past. I am learning that I don't like when my hand knit or hand crocheted sweaters have like tight necklines like this, like that starts making me feel like I'm choking. But I also don't like it when they're super wide. So I'm trying this scoop neck business, and if I really like the scoop neck, maybe I will try to incorporate that detail into other patterns that I make, because I think I'm gonna like this. But I think I'm also going to like this color. Yeah. So yeah, haven't worked on this in a while. Commentary on alternating skeins. It takes so flippin' long. I don't like it at all. Don't recommend, but you should still do it if you want like a consistent piece. But oh my gosh, it takes so long. Okay, so those are all of my garments. I have one more work in progress that I just started at the beginning of February, because my birthday is the 24th, and since I did an advent calendar, the wishes one specifically, if you don't know, every year the fiber community does get your yarn wishes granted, and my wish each year is for mini skeins to make an advent calendar. So this past year I was able to make said advent calendar with 24 minis, and since my birthday is on the 24th, I figured I can crochet a square out of a mini every day until my birthday, and then I'll have a blanket, like a birthday blanket at the end, right? Such a great idea. I decided to do 25 squares instead so that I could have, 5x5 square. And I have already done my double up day, so now I'm back to 1 square a day all the way up until my birthday. And this is where we are. I haven't done today's square yet. I guess I'll show you today's color. Is it this one? There's so many little scraps. I think this is the color for today. Is this the color for today? Oh no, I'm lying. This is today's color. And then tomorrow's color is this one. So we've got quite the juxtaposition between those colors. But I have taken out all of the colors, or all of the yarns from that advent calendar, and kind of arranged them in a way that I felt was pleasing. And here is my blanket. Ta-da! This pink one right here is my favorite. It is. I kind of, like, now that I'm thinking about it, since I love this pink one so much, I kind of want to make, like, after I finish this third row here, I kind of want to make the fourth row up here so that this pink one will be in the center. I think I'm going to do that. But yeah, I love it. It makes me very happy. It's not going to be a big blanket at all. So I was talking to my mother-in-law about it, and I was like, you know, I don't know if I'm just going to keep it small or what I'm going to do. And she's like, well, why don't you, you know, make a border around it and then continue and make it bigger, like around it, so that your birthday blanket is the middle, and then you can make the rest of the blanket as big as you need or as big as you want, but you still have like your birthday blanket. And I was like, you know, that's a really good idea. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I love it so much. This is making me so happy. So happy. And like I did my wishes advent calendar, and then I did an advent calendar swap with my friend Akira. So I have those minis, and then I have other minis from my 2020 advent swaps, but a lot of those that I have are not 20 gram minis. Like, they are random size. So I think I'll have to go through my collection and pull out all of my 20 gram minis, because these squares are pretty much the entire ball of yarn. So like this purple one, well, this purple one is a bad example because this is how much yarn I had left over from the purple one. But say like the pink. That's how much I had left from the pink. And I say on average, that's about the nugget that's being left over from the skeins that I'm using. This is how much is left from that yellow. But what I'm doing with these is some of the skeins, even though they are technically 20 grams, are still like shorter yardage wise, because maybe the fiber itself is heavier. So with those, I am like, when I run out of that, whatever yarn it is, I pick one of the leftovers, whichever one is closest to that colorway, and finish out with that. So if you look closely, let's find one, you'll see, I think, did I do it with the blue? No, I think I did it with this one. Yeah. Okay, Sun's not gonna make this easy. Okay, so you can see how this has a lot of red and green and black in it, and then this row right here is just white and gray. That's because I ran out of yarn, but you can't really tell. And then I did the same thing on this blue one, where I ran out of yarn somewhere. Hello? I know I ran out of yarn. See, it's so good I can't even see it with my eyeballs. Oh, it's here. So right here is where I ran out of yarn, and I used this colorway to connect in here. So yeah, that's gonna be my birthday blanket. And I was trying to figure out like what color I would want to edge it with, and I got my birthday coupon from my local yarn shop, which is Knit in Longwood, Florida. If you're ever in the area, go visit. They're sweethearts. So I got my birthday coupon and wanted to go and use it. So I picked up this yarn. This is a Malabrigo single, and I figured that this would be like a nice kind of solid-ish border around my birthday blanket. And I like the color because like right? This right in here is like one of my absolute favorite colors. So I bought this, and then I got home and I was like, this feels very familiar. Okay? Look at that. So this was given to me a few years ago. I forget why it was given to me. Memory is pulling something having to do with Pisces season. Like someone was destashing yarn and was like, hey, here, Felicia, it's watery. So this is Preciosa, Knit Picks Preciosa Fingering Tonal in the Crest colorway. It's also a single. And look at them. So I'm going to use this one because I specifically bought this one for my blanket, but I just was tickled that they basically are sisters. Like, but yeah. So that is the birthday blanket. Yeah, I'm definitely making another row over here so this pink can be the middle. It's just so good. It is just so freaking awesome. This, I had posted, I'm taking a picture of each square and marking which day they are. And Mars from Hey Brown Berry was trying to figure out which pink this was, because in my Instagram post I said, oh, I mentioned it on Vlogmas. It's one of the Vlogmas, somewhere on Vlogmas. So she was like, oh, it was nice. I spent a little time rewatching Vlogmas clips and everything, and she's trying to figure out which one it was. So I also had to go back and figure it out. And this is at Haynes House. Is it AT Haynes House or at Haynes House? Anyway, their color. The colorway is called Tony Stark. Is it Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark, I Love You 3000. I just love it so much. It's so bright. It's not even like, it's not translating. Yay! So yeah, birthday blanket, super excited. It brings me lots of joy. Huzzah. That is everything for works in progress. Editing this is going to be a nightmare. But we had to jump back in the saddle. Stash positions. I already showed you my most recent stash position. The thing that I really wanted to show you guys in stash positions, like, I'm so excited about this thing. I cannot even. Okay, so I was in the thrift store, as I am quite often, because it is one of my happy places. Whenever I'm kind of stressed out, I'll go to the thrift store. Makes me happy. Like, I walk into the thrift store and I feel myself relaxing. It's a little bit weird, but whatever. So in my area, we have Goodwills, and we also have a bunch of little, like, smaller charity shops. And there's this one that is St. Vincent de Paul. And I don't know what happens with this one particular thrift store, but a couple years ago I went in there and I found a knitting machine, like one of the flatbed little knitting machines, and it was like less than $15. So of course I bought it. Like, every time I go in there, there's like a little thrift store score for your girl. But this one right here, I went into the thrift store, minding my own business, and I see this. It's a loom. This is the body of a Cricut table loom, a Cricut rigid heddle loom. So I see this sitting on the table and I'm like, holy crap, oh my gosh. And I'm super excited, right? And then I'm like, oh wait, it doesn't have like the heddle. So this won't do me any good, for real. And oh, this is the price. I don't know if you can see that, but it's $5.99. So $6 for this thing. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I could always like buy a heddle, right? That's fine. I could do that. And then I turned around. The rest of it. And this part was $10. So they split it up. Whatever. It's fine. $16 for a Cricut loom. And I'm thinking, you know, it's at the thrift store. It's probably, like, I'm probably going to have to replace parts on it, you know, whatever. Like, it's not going to be perfect. I don't even know if this person really used it. So here is the heddle. So this is the part that will help you to, you know, what is it? Open the shed so that you can weave through it and do your things, right? Booped. So that was in there. Those were in there to anchor it to the table. For the threading. For the project. Introduction to rigid heddle weaving. This is all the person did. I mean, it's pretty. I'm happy. But this is the only thing that the previous owner of this loom created. And then they put it in the box and donated it. Like, bro, like, you decided that rigid heddle weaving is not your jam and was just like, all of it out of my house. I'm okay with that. The only thing that I had to buy was, well, so this is the warping peg. So when you warp a loom, you basically are pulling out like the long warp strands, however long you want your piece to be, and you loop them around this. This holds all of those loops that you're pulling through. And it's supposed to have a little peggy bit like this so that it can, well, it's supposed to have this whole thing, I think. Yeah. To go like this. But this part wasn't in here. There were only 2 of these, and 2 of these are supposed to go in the back of the loom to attach it to a table or a tabletop while you are warping, and then a third one is to hold this onto wherever thing you're warping onto. This is the only thing I had to buy, and this is just a replacement for this. And please believe, I did go hunting in Lowe's and Home Depot and online trying to find just this metal bit to do it, but I couldn't. So I was just like, it's fine. Bought another one. I am ready to learn this thing. And I have not opened it because, you know, I was like, I have to show it on the podcast. I have not opened it. I have not, like, dove into this new hobby yet. I have watched plenty of how to warp a loom videos on YouTube, so I feel like I'm a professional. It's okay, I know I'm not. But we've got yarn. Just everything in this box. $16. I choked, and then I called my mother and I was like, you will not believe what I just found. Happy days. So I kind of feel like whenever I find something super awesome like this in a thrift store, that I will then have terrible thrift store luck for like the next couple months, to like balance it out, to balance out the universe. But very excited. Very, very excited. Yeah. I forgot another stasquisition. It was underneath all of my knitting. I bought these from Crochet Luna. This one, is that gonna focus? Absolutely not. This one says these hands crochet. And this one says happy birthday 100% crocheter. So, yes. She also puts in tea with every one of her pin sales. So Crochet Luna Claudia is like the pin supplier for the fiber artist. So if you like buttons and things like this, she has so many different ones, like so many. And yeah, go check her out. I forgot those. They were underneath the whole stack. Plant mama life and whatnot. We're almost done, friends. Let's see. What did I write down? I have lots of... I keep showing you guys my notes like you can see anything on here. The sun is blowing everything out. Okay. On the plant mama life side, I found one of my wish list plants at Home Depot recently, and I was very excited about it because this thing is so stupid cute. Like, I just really hope I don't kill it. So this is a bear paw succulent. Look at those little paws. Isn't it adorable? I cannot even. So I recently got this from my local Home Depot, and I'm just letting it get acclimated to the house. It's just so cute. I just love looking at it. I did hear somewhere that bear paw succulents happen to smell like honey. I wouldn't say it smells like honey. It does have kind of a sweet smell, but honey, probably not. That's reaching. But that is one of my newest plants that I'm really, really excited about. I did get a couple other new plants that are in my collection. I might put pictures in of them. Not sure. But yeah, my biggest thing that I have been doing with my plants is like managing humidity. So I got a little plant humidifier for Christmas that I have been using, and I've also built a terrarium out of picture frames. So I have one that I have like a bunch of my Hoya in, and they are loving it in there. So I definitely want to get a bigger kind of enclosed plant situation for my plants so that they can all benefit from that high humidity situation. But for now, we just have that small picture frame terrarium. Then I was thrifting a little bit ago, and I found this glass display case, and I'm sure that somebody else would have put, like, I don't know, a porcelain doll in it or something like that. But when I saw it, I thought, this is perfect for my philodendron brandy, because that particular plant really needs high, like super high humidity, and I haven't been able to keep the humidity high enough for it to be happy. So I put it in here, or in there. The display case is exactly the height that is needed for the pole that I have that plant on. I bought little humidity monitors, and right now the humidity in that case is like 98%. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully it stays, you know, nice in there, and my brandy can grow happily. Then yesterday I sat down and made another picture frame terrarium, that I'm going to put next to my first one. So I'll have another space to keep little small plants. And I've learned that I really enjoy having smaller plants in my collection. Yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun taking care of my plants, seeing their new leaves come through, especially since the cold snap like murked a couple of my monstera leaves out here. It's nice to see that the ones inside are flourishing and, you know, putting out those new leaves. Especially a couple of my plants I thought were dead or on their way out. They made a turnaround and they're just like, new leaf, new leaf. That makes me very happy. I mentioned earlier that I am in the office 2 days a week now. The last trimester we were in there 1 day a week, we being me and the other executive assistant, and the other days we have student workers who are working in the office. But now I am in the office on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The best thing about being back in the office for 2 days is that Wednesday night I leave my computer in the office and it is so freeing. It feels delightful, just absolutely wonderful to leave my work computer at work and know that, like, if anybody decides to call me and ask me to do anything, I actually cannot. It feels good. Are those boundaries? I think so. We've had a lot of system changes at work, which has been frustrating for everybody involved. But I keep telling myself, this is hard now. It's difficult now. It's frustrating now, but we are still learning. And eventually it will not be, you know, eventually it will not be this hard, this difficult, or this frustrating. And I just keep repeating that to myself. Like, it's not always going to be this way. But yeah, so I say that to say there's been like higher stress at work, and I do find myself having a hard time, like anxiety wise, at work, but I'm trying to be more attuned to when those feelings start. Like, I'm very good at realizing, like, oh, I'm in the middle of it. You know, I'm in the middle of like this mood swing or this anxiety, whatever. It's almost like I wake up in it. And realize that this is what's going on. Like, I don't see it coming, or I haven't been very good at being attuned to myself and seeing those shifts coming. So I'm really working on that, working on trying to be more mindful of myself, so that whenever I start feeling little shifts, I can do something different, you know? I can take myself out of whatever environment I'm in so that I can reset, you know? We'll see how that's going. I mean, who knows? You can only do what you can do in the moment. And yeah. So, work is work. I am loving the weekend. When it gets to Friday afternoon, I'm just like, holla at me on Monday. And I really have been valuing my, you know, Sabbath and Sunday. And yeah, I'm trying to do more things with my friend. I don't have a whole lot of like real life friends locally. And the few friends that I do have, a lot of them are always busy doing other things. So when I can link up with them to do anything, I'm really trying to not be on my absolute introvert, don't want to people, you know, tip. So, for instance, one of the things that me and my friend Tiffany did, we recently went and did a pottery class. I have never done pottery on a wheel. She did some, I think she said high school. But we were able to make 2 little bowls and paint them. Unfortunately, my first bowl that I made was damaged or something, and to keep the positive experience, the worker switched my damaged bowl out with like another random one that they had, and gave that one to me when it was time to paint. And like as I was painting, I was like, I don't think this is my bowl, you know, but I didn't say anything because I was like, who knows, maybe things change when they're drying. Like after you finish making something on the wheel and then it sits and dries in however much time it needs before you can like glaze it, maybe it changes, you know. I'm new at this. I'm not the professional. I'm not going to say anything. And the only reason that I realized, no, this indeed is not my bowl, is when I got home, because I wanted to vlog it to share it with you guys. So when I got home, I was putting together clips, because I did clips of each step on the wheel. And when I got to the last clip where my bowl is fully formed and they take it off of the wheel, the next clip is the bowl that they gave me. And it is very much not the same shape. So I sent them an email, you know, talking about it and telling them how disappointed I was that I wasn't told that I was being given a replacement bowl. Because like, I wouldn't have been mad, you know, like if you tell me like, oh, this happened, so we're gonna replace your bowl, we're sorry, fine. I'm not gonna raise hell. I also realized that I have worked in customer service and in a call center, so I am very much not likely to go off on someone else who is in a service type position. So I kind of feel like maybe they've had one too many people in there popping off all angry when something like that happens. Okay. So I was very disappointed that I no longer had my actual first piece. So like the first piece of pottery that I ever threw on the wheel is gone. But at least I have like the footage of me creating it. Yeah, but my second piece that I made all by myself, that one made it back to me. So thumbs up for that. But yeah, I did find there is another pottery place that I would like to try out. I really, really enjoyed it. And Tiffany was like, now Kalisha, you don't need a pottery wheel. And I was like, what? I mean, like you get like a tabletop one, because we were using the ones that were tabletop. Like you didn't even have to do a foot pedal or nothing. I was like, get a little tabletop one, you know, when you're not using it, slide it up under something in the corner, it won't take up no space. I think I need a pottery wheel. I think I need this. And she was just like, so I didn't buy a pottery wheel. I have to get into this weaving, but you know, it is what it is. I do what makes me happy, and then I learn all of the things about it, and then I learn something else, and you know, just trying all of the things. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into this podcasting thing on a regular basis. We'll see how that goes. I think the next podcast will be like right before my birthday, I think. So the 24th is my birthday. I'll be turning 36. And I have no plans. I have no plans. None at all. Actually, the only plan that I have is I plan to work half a day on my birthday. And then I plan to take the next day off. So I'll have a long weekend. And then I'm going to go down to the Four Pros yarn shop. That's the only thing that I have planned to do for my birthday. I've already bought myself birthday presents and given them to Lamar and said, hey, this is for my birthday. Can you wrap it up? I am that person. I am that person. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that I actually sat my little butt down and filmed this. Now I am going to grab some stuff and go to a coffee shop and edit this because I just need to be out of the house. And that's what we're gonna do. So, reminders, Pisces season make-along is coming up, starts on the 19th. If you would like to donate to my the fundraiser for the Out of the Darkness walk, that's still going until the end of the month. I would love it if we could reach $1,000. We are what, $115 away from 1,000, which is mind-blowing. Thank you for getting us here. What other reminders? This is a reminder for you to do something that you love this week. Do something that brings you joy. Do something that makes you happy, makes you smile, makes you feel full. Because those are the things that keep us up, right? Those are the things that keep us afloat, that fill us back up. So find one of those things for you and do that. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Thank you for still being here after my unexpected hiatus. Thank you. Bye, friends.